Livestream, Barangay San Miguel, Guimaras. Location San Miguel, Guimaras, with an APC of 9,900,000. Source of fund, regular agency fund, general fund, new general appropriations, specific budgets of national government agencies. Contract duration of 105 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 10,000 pesos. Contract ID 24G0074. Construction of multipurpose building. Reconstruction of multipurpose building. Provincial Capital Grounds. San Miguel, Guimaras. Location San Miguel, Guimaras. With an APC of 19,800,000. Source of funds, general agency fund, general fund, new general appropriations, specific budgets of national government agencies. With contract duration of 140 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 25,000 pesos. Contract ID 24GE0075. Construction of multipurpose building. Construction of multipurpose facility. Barangay San Miguel, Guimaras. Location San Miguel, Guimaras. With an ABC of 19,800,000. Source of funds, regular agency fund, general fund, new general appropriations, specific budgets of national government agencies, with contract duration of 140 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents 25,000 pesos. The scope of works for 24GE0073, 24GE0074, and 24GE0075. Part B, other general requirements. Part C, earthworks. Part D, reinforced concrete. Part E, finishing and other civil works. Major categories of works followed. 24GE0073, 24GE0074, and 24GE0075. Buildings, construction without piles, low-rise concrete frame, 1 to 5 stories. Similar categories of works. Buildings, construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. Buildings, construction with piles, low-rise, concrete frame, cast-in-place piles. Buildings, construction with piles, high-rise, concrete frame, driven piles. Buildings, construction with piles, low-rise, constitute the primary source for the terms and conditions of the contract and thus applicable in contract implementation. Herein clauses shall serve as the secondary source for the terms and conditions of the contract. This is without prejudice to Section 74.1 and 74.2 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184, allowing the DPPB to amend the IRR, which shall be applied to all procurement activities, the advertisements, posting, or invitation of which or issued after the effectivity of the said amendments. Number 2. Sectional completion of works. If sectional completion is specified in the special conditions of contract, reference in the conditions of contract to the works, the completion date, and the intended completion date shall apply to any section of the works, other than references in the completion date and intended completion date for the whole of the works. Number 3. Possession of site. The procuring entity shall give possession of all or parts of the site to the contractor based on the schedule of delivery indicated in the SCC, which corresponds to the execution of the works. If the contractor suffers delay or incurred costs from failure on the part of the procuring entity to keep possession in accordance with the terms of this clause, the procuring entity's representative shall give the contractor a contract time extension and certify such sum as fair to cover the cost incurred, which sum shall be paid by procuring entity. If possession of a portion is not given by the above date, the procuring entity will be deemed to have delayed the start of the relevant activities. The resulting adjustment and contract time to address such delay may be addressed through contract extension provided under Annex A of the 2016 revised IRR of number RA 9184. Number 4. The contractor's obligation. The contractor shall employ the key personnel named in the schedule of key personnel indicating their designation in accordance with ITB Clause 10.3 and specified in the BDS to carry out the supervision of the works. The procuring entity will approve any proposed replacement of key personnel only if the relevant qualifications and abilities are equal to or better than those of the personnel listed in the schedule.
Number 5. Performance security. Within 10 calendar days from receipt of the notice of award from the procuring entity, but in no case later than signing of the contract by both parties, the successful bidder shall furnish the performance security in any of the forms prescribed in Section 39 of the 2016 revised IRR. The contractor, by entering into the contract with the procuring entity, acknowledges the right of the procuring entity to institute action pursuant to RA number 3688 against any subcontractor, be they an individual, firm, partnership, corporation, or association, supplying the contractor with labor, materials, or equipment for the performance of this contract. Number 6. Site investigation reports. The contractor in preparing the bid shall rely on any site investigation reports referred to in the SCC, supplemented by any information obtained by the contractor. Number 7. Warranty. In case that the contractor fails to undertake the repair works under Section 62.2.2 of the 2016 revised IRR, the procuring entity shall forfeit its performance security, subject its properties to attachment or garnishment proceedings, and perpetually disqualify it from participating in any public bidding. All failures of the GOP in this favor shall be offset to recover the cost. The warranty against structural defects or failures, except that occasioned on force majeure, shall cover the period from the date of issuance of certificate of final acceptance by the procuring entity. Specific duration of the warranty is found in the SCC. Number 8. Liability of the contractor. Subject to an additional provision, if any, set forth in the SCC, the contractor's liability under this contract shall be as provided by the laws of the Republic of the Philippines. If the contractor is a joint venture, all partners to joint venture shall be jointly and severally liable to the procuring entity. Number 9. Termination for other causes. Contract termination shall be initiated in case it is determined prima facie by the procuring entity that the contractor has engaged before or during the implementation of the contract in unlawful deeds and behaviors relative to contract acquisition and implementation such as but not limited to corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, coercive, and obstructive practices as stated in ITB Clause 4. Number 10. Day works. Subject to the Guidelines and Variation Order in Annex E of the 2016 Revised IRR of RA 9184, and if applicable as indicated in the SCC, the day works rates in the contractor's bid shall be used for small additional amounts of works only when the procuring entity's representative has given written instructions in advance for additional work to be paid for in the trade. Number 11. Program of work. The contractor shall submit to the procuring entity's representative for approval the said program of work showing the general methods, arrangements, orders, and timing for all activities in the works. The submission of the program of works are indicated in the SCC. The contractor shall submit to the procuring entity's representative for approval an updated program of work at intervals no longer than the period stated in the SCC. If the contractor does not submit an updated program of work within this period, the procuring entity's representative may withhold the amount stated in the SCC from the next payment certificate and continue to withhold this amount until the next payment after the date on which the overdue program of work has been submitted. Number 12. Instructions, inspections, and audits. The contractor shall permit the GOP or the procuring entities to inspect the contractor's accounts and records relating to the performance of the contractor and to have them audited by auditors of the GOP or the procuring entity as may be required. Number 13. Advance payment. The procuring entity shall, upon a written request of the contractor, which shall be submitted as the contract document, make an advance payment to the contractor in an amount not exceeding 15% of the total contract price, to be made in lump sum or at most 2 installments according to a schedule specified in the SCC, subject to the requirements in Annex E of the 2016 Revised IRR of RA number
comprising the bid, legal documents, filters registration, SEC registration or DTI registration, mayor's permit, and tax clearance. Technical documents requirements, statement of ongoing contracts, statement of either single largest completed contracts, pickup license or special pickup JV license, bid security, organizational chart, list of contractors' major equipment, list of contractors' minimum materials, testing equipment, omnibus sworn statement, ITR and financial statement, NFCC computation, and valid joint venture agreement if applicable. Financial documents requirements, financial bid form, bill of quantities, detailed estimates including summary sheets, and quarterly monthly cash flow and payment schedule. All documents shall be printed in A4 format, tabbed and bounded. Please attach the bidding documents in the technical component of your bid. For bids to be submitted electronically online, the following procedure should be observed following the DPWH series of 2020. Number 1, submission of electronic official receipt of purchase of the bidding documents. Number 2, confirmation of the electronically submitted official receipt. Number 3, preparation and submission of an electronic bid. Number 4, modification of an electronic bid. Number 5, non-participation in the bidding. Number 6, withdrawal of electronic bid. Number 7, opening of electronic bid. Number 8, filing convention in case of a joint venture bidder. Bid opening for 24GE 0073 and 24GE 0074 shall be on April 29, 2024 Monday, and for 24GE 0075 shall be on April 30, 2024 Tuesday, 9 a.m. at 2nd floor bidding room, DPWH Guimaras District Engineering Office, San Miguel, Guimaras. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid submission may be